welcome back. Thank you so much for rejoining the conversation. We take a serious turn now and focus on our weather. And in the wake of the relentless weather onslaught that has left the Western Cape certainly grappling with the aftermath, we now turn our attention to this unfolding crisis. Torrential rains, unforgiving floods, and the fury of the winds have battered our coastal and Overberg communities, leaving them in a state of turmoil. And our thoughts and prayers certainly do go to those affected at the moment. So it gives us a certain amount of comfort to be able to connect right now to Sonika Lattegan, the disaster management spokesperson for the City of Cape Town, who will provide us with some crucial insights into the extensive damage, the persistent threats facing our coastal regions, and then, of course, obviously the collective actions being taken to confront this crisis. It seems very much head on. Sonika, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm sure you have been kept unbelievably busy over the last couple of days. How are you and the team doing?
Yes, thank you, Graham. Thank you for having me on the show. It has been chaos all over the city, so we are just trying our best to assist the communities wherever possible.
Let's start there then. Let's talk about the communities most affected. What areas have been hardest hit, and talk us through the extent of the damage.
The communities that has been most affected is the Salori Pass village and also Rastakam Strand and Sandfly in Makassar. So the extent of the damage is basically we have lost 4 lives in the COVID-19 settlement, informal settlement in Drift Sands, where 4 people has been electrocuted. This has been a combination of flooding that rise, water that rise inside their homes with illegal electricity connections. And then also we have lost 4 boys in the Klipfontein area as well. This was also due to a power line that snapped and that fell into the water that they were playing. So that is where we lost people as a result of these floodings of the severe weather. Then we also had to evacuate people from Salori Pass village, from Sandfly in Makassar and the Strand areas, where some of the rivers has burst its banks, the Lawrence River and the Easter River, and because of the flooding, the severe flooding that has happened in the Salori Pass village, we had to evacuate at least 170 people in that area. And there's been huge amounts of sand that has been deposited in the Salori Pass village as well. Sure. Then we had people trapped in the Kochel Bay Resort between Gordons Bay and Roy Owls. That was late last night because of roads that has been closed from between Gordons Bay and Roy Owls. So our city has been working closely together with the Provincial Disaster Management Center to rescue those people. And then all across the city also, we had power lines that has been cut off because of the severe weather, and we also had fallen trees all over the city. We had rock slides and mud slides, and in the Camps Bay area, we also had a sinkhole that formed in that area.
My goodness. So
the damage is quite extent, and then obviously a lot of roads that has been flooded and had to be closed as well.
I know we've actually got crew members of ours stuck in certain areas, so I know that those rescue efforts or relocating people who have been trapped by flooded roads and washed away routes, that still is ongoing. When we look about those, talk about those danger areas, what is of most concern? What areas are you most worried about still right now? And are there chances that we're going to be battered by more of this kind of weather? Because it feels like we're barely catching our breath here, but the way that this year has run, we can anticipate more crazy weather on the way. What areas do we need to be most concerned about? What are you most worried about?
The areas that we are most worried about is obviously the Salori Pass village, because it is in a low-lying area, and like I said earlier, lots of sand that is being deposited because of the sand being dragged down the slopes. And then also the areas that is low-lying. You must remember that the Cape Flats is in a low-lying area, and many of our communities are residing within floodplains and wetlands. So the areas most concerning for us is the Makassar area, the Khayelitsha area, which is basically in a wetland area. So those are the areas. But we must also remember that the weather that we have experienced the past weekend was an orange level 9, and that has never happened within our city. So it is something new for all of us.
Unprecedented. So well done to you and your team for responding on such a widespread field as well. I think that really does bring to bear the necessity of collaboration. We know that you're working within communities that aren't dealing with a huge amount of resource as a baseline, and it often is the case. What do you need from us? What efforts are you currently focused on, and what help do you need? What do you need South African public to do in times like these to support your efforts?
We are trying to attend to incidents as far as possible, but we are prioritizing public safety. So we are working very closely together with all of our internal departments, external departments as well, like our Provincial Disaster Management Center, NSRI, our Defence Force, our SAPS, our internal departments are on the grounds, teams are on the grounds, disaster management, roads and infrastructure, our safety and security personnel are all over the place. So we really want to appeal to the public we put out weather warnings on all social media platforms, and that goes together with public safety tips as well. So we appeal to the public to listen to their radios, to look on social media for these tips. We advise the public, if at all possible, stay away from the roads. We know that the rains have subsided since last night, but rivers are still full, streams are still swollen, so don't cross these areas because sharp objects can be carried with these streams. And we also ask the public just to stay in-house and stay safe and listen to the radios for safety tips. And if any incidents has to be reported, please report it to 021 480 7700.
All right, we will definitely keep those details up as well. And I've learned if you just go to @City of Cape Town on the socials, they will respond. Thank you so much, Sonica, for you and your team working on, I think it sounds like under the most extreme conditions. But thank you very much for all of those efforts. Stay indoors if you can. Listen to the warnings. We've got constant warnings coming out on our show. Obviously, electricity, a major danger now. So if there are exposed cables or cables anywhere in your area, and the combination of water, reported right now. Lives have been lost already, tragically, because of electricity and water, because of the damage that's been done by level 9 storm winds and conditions. Please stay safe, but we'll continue to update you as the story unfolds.